Hello students, today we will do question answers from the chapter Should Wizard Hit Mommy? First question. He was telling her something true, something she must know. Why does the narrator makes this statement? Answer. Though Jack was telling his daughter the story of an imaginary character named Roger Skunk, he was actually telling her the humiliations he had to suffer in his own childhood. And that is the reason why narrator tells us that Jack was telling her something true. Through the story of Roger Skunk, the narrator Jack wants to emphasize on the fact that mothers are always right and they know what is best for their child. Jack believes in the importance of individuality and acceptance of what is natural rather than social acceptance by peers. This was what Jack wanted Joe to know and understand. Second question. Why do you think both Joe and Jack want a different ending each for Roger Skunk's story? Answer. The difference between Jack's and Joe's ending of the story shows the difference is in one's perspective according to his or her age. Jack, being an adult, understands the importance of respecting one's true identity. Through his story, he wanted his daughter to understand the importance of one's own individuality and true self. Joe, on the other hand, is a kid and loves to make friends and have fun with them. The fact that Roger Skunk's mother stopped him from making friends and having fun was simply wrong in her eyes. This is why Joe was angry at Roger Skunk's mother and wanted the wizard to hit her. Third question. What is the significance of half old tan and half new ivory cage of moldings, rails, and baseboards appearing at the end of the story? Answer. Certain threads in the story which come up like digressions from time to time hint at marital discord between Jack and his wife. When Jack went downstairs and watched his wife labor, he saw Claire wearing an old shirt of his on top of her maternity dress, painting the chair. He visualized the woodwork as a cage and he felt caught in an ugly middle position. He felt that both of them were caged together. He must have felt trapped in responsibility and marriage. The use of image of cage reveals his dissatisfaction with his marriage. The story ends with the most poignant and telling lines. He did not want to speak with her, work with her, touch her, anything. Question 4. Wanting Roger Skunk to continue to smell the way a little skunk should smell has a great significance. Explain. Answer. Little Joe had been accustomed to the happy ending of the story of Roger, where the wizard was helpful to him in fulfilling his wish. At the request of Roger Skunk, the wizard had changed his awful smell to that of roses. Other small animals liked it and played with Roger Skunk happily. She could not digest the ending of the extended story where Roger Skunk's mother hit the wizard on the head and forced him to change Skunk's smell to the earlier foul smell. So Joe could not accept Skunk's mother's stubbornness. Example, hitting the well-wisher of her son, Roger Skunk. Joe insisted that her father should tell her the same story again the next day with changed ending. The wizard should hit that unreasonable mommy on the head and leave Roger Skunk emitting the pleasant smell of roses. In the beautiful world of child's imagination, fairies and wizards are more real than reality itself. She could not digest the harsh realities of life. She did not like the rude mother who hit the benefactor of her own son. Question 5th, it's important. How does Joe want the story to end? Why? Or how did Joe want the story narrated by her father to end? Or why does Joe want wizard to hit mommy? Remember these value points. Wanted father to make the wizard hit mommy on her head. Wanted Roger Skunk to have smell of roses intact. Joe wanted Roger Skunk to be accepted by his friends. For her, Roger's happiness was of extreme importance. Detailed answer. Joe wants the wizard to hit mommy on her head with his magic wand for not understanding Roger's feelings. She wishes the smell of roses to be intact because She feels that with that pleasant smell, Skunk will be accepted by his friends happily and play with other animals. Joe wants a happy ending. Question 6. How can we say that Jack is a dominant male? Let us see the value points. Wants women to be hanging on his every word. Chauvinist. Hates being contradicted or questioned. Doesn't like women to take anything for granted. Feels trapped when his pregnant wife works. So let us see the detailed answer. Jack is a loving father. He used to tell stories to his daughter Jo. Now the little Jo has grown a bit older. She has grown very inquisitive and also asks many questions. But Jack, instead of answering the daughter's question, always tried to keep his end up. In the Roger Skunk story, Joe says that Mommy was not at all justified in hitting the wizard. However, instead of giving any suitable answer to his daughter, he says that Mommy should be respected. Thus, we can say that Jack is a dominant male. Question 7. We can't approve of Jack's attitude towards his wife. Comment. Value points. Didn't like her when she feigned happiness. Wanted to help his wife but didn't, though she was pregnant. Did not want to speak with her, touch her or work with her. Wanted to dominate her. That's the detailed answer. Jack's attitude towards his wife was not a very healthy one. He did not like the feigned happiness and smile of his wife in a cocktail party. He wanted to help his wife, but he didn't even though she was pregnant. He wanted to dominate her. He didn't want to speak with her, touch her or work with her. Question 8, important. What problem did Roger Skunk face when he went to play with his friends? How did he solve it? Value points, like for the answer of what? Friends did not like his smell, hence avoided them. And how? Went to the owl and wizard go got the smell of roses. Let's say detailed answer. Roger Skunk's problem was that he smelled foul. It was because of his stink that nobody mingled with him. Even his friends avoided him and did not play with him. For this reason, Roger used to remain disturbed and even cry. To find a solution to this problem, he went to the wise owl, who suggested him to meet the wizard. The wizard helped him by giving him a spell, after which he started smelling like roses. The wizard asked him for 7 pennies, but Roger had only 4. Question number 9. Why does Joe call the skunk's mommy stupid? Or what did Joe want Roger Skunk's mother to be punished for? Value points. Joe finds mom stupid. Mom should not have spanked wizard. Wants Skunk to get back smell of roses. Mom to be punished as insensitive, cruel, unfair. Let's see the detailed answer. Joe, being a child, considers Skunk's mother to be a stupid as she spanked the wizard for giving Skunk the smell of roses. Joe wants Skunk to get back the smell of roses and his mother to be punished as she thinks his mother to be insensitive, cruel and unfair. Question 10. How was Skunk's story different from the other stories narrated by Jack? Value points. Other story had a happy ending. Skunk's story did not. Joe, Jack's daughter, had not opposed the ending of any story earlier. She had never challenged Jack's authority, had not so much interrupted the narration earlier. Jack wanted to prove through this story that parents always know what is right. Only story in which the animal visited the wizard twice. The story had a twist. Ending of the story remained unresolved. Detailed answer. Roger Skunk's story was different from other stories narrated by Jack because in all the other stories the family lived happily after meeting the wizard. But in Skunk's case, his mother was not satisfied with the change. Joe, on hearing this story, insisted that her father should change the story and tell that wizard took a stick and hit the mommy. You can see the tips here. Question 11. What was the basic plot of each story told by Jack? Value points. Small creature named Roger has a problem, goes to call for solution, directed to the wizard who solved problem for a fee, sent to well to get some pennies to pay the fee, creature went home happy, family dinner. So detailed answer is the basic plot of each story told by Jack deals with the idea whether the parents should always decide what their children should do or give the children the basic freedom to make their own choices. Roger was a different animal such as a fish, a squirrel, a chipmunk, or skunk. Also, all stories had a wizard and a wise owl as its primary characters. Whenever Roger had a problem, it went to the owl, who directed the creature to the wizard. As payment for his services, the wizard would always demand for more money than Roger had to spare. Question 12. What is Mother Skunk's role in the story? Value points. Make Roger Skunk realize the importance of originality, individuality, or identity. Roger Skunk should not be ashamed of his natural attributes. Role of decisive and protective parent. Hits the wizard on the head. Let's see the detailed answer. Mother Skunk's role in the story is to convince the reader about the narrator's belief that we should never disobey our parents as they know what is best for us. Mother Skunk told Roger never to forget his distinct identity. Question 13. Having got rid of his stink, what problem did Roger Skunk face? Value points. Had to face mother's anger at his changed smell. Was taken by mother back to the wizard to get his old smell back. Detailed answer. Having got rid of his stink, Roger Skunk now had his mother's wrath to the face. When she found out that Roger smelled of roses, she scolded him badly. Mommy Skunk told Roger to embrace himself as he was born and be happy with it. She dragged Roger Skunk back to the wizard and forced the latter to give Roger his original stink back. Question 14. Give an example to show that Joe was a sensitive child. Value points. She was upset that Roger Skunk had no friends. Mother had hit wizard. Detailed answer. Joe was very sensitive child because she was upset that Roger Skunk had no friends. She also expressed her unhappiness when Skunk's mother hit wizard for giving him the smell of roses. This next is important question. How are Jack's views on life different from those of Joe? Value points. Jack's views. Mother knew best. The authority of parents should prevail. Joe wanted mother to be hit by wizard. The young should have their way. Detailed answer. Jack, being a parent, thought that mother knew what was best for Roger Skunk, while Joe thought that Roger Skunk should also have a say in how he wished to smell. Since he now smelled bad again, he would lose all his friends. Question 16. What was Roger Skunk's problem? What did he do to solve it? Value points. Problem, foul smell. Solution, went to wizard. Detailed answer. Roger Skunk used to emanate foul smell, so everyone made fun of him. To solve the problem, he took Wise Owl's advice and went to wizard, who made him smell of roses. Next important question. What story did Joe want to hear the next day and why? What was father's reaction to it? Value point. Joe wanted her father to tell the same story but change the ending. Wizard would hit mommy and give back the smell of roses to Roger. Could not bear the thought of Roger with his foul smell and without any friends. Father angry with Joe for interfering in his story. Refused to change the ending. Wants her to learn to respect parents and their decisions. Detailed answer. Joe was not happy with the ending of story narrated by her father. She wanted her father to tell her the same story the next day but with a changed ending in which wizard would hit the mommy and give back the smell to Roger. She wanted a story in this manner because she could not bear the thought of Roger Skunk's friends not playing with him. But her father Jack was angry with Joe for interfering in his story. He refused to change the ending. In fact, he wanted her to learn to respect parents and their decisions. Last question, 18. On seeing Roger Skunk again with very bad smell, how did the little animals react first and then later on when he had lost it? When the wizard changed Roger's smell to that of roses at his request, the other little animals who earlier hated him gathered around him because now he smelled so good. Okay, so now we will do long answer type questions. Okay, first question. With respect to the events in the story, should wizard hit mommy? Who would you sport, Wizard or Mommy? Justify your choice. The story Should Wizard Hit Mommy could have two endings, one which has been originally told by Jack and the other which Joe wanted the story to end like. I approve of the mature and realistic one narrated by Jack that the mother skunk hit the wizard on the head and forced him to restore the original smell to the skunk. Every species of animals has its special features. She wanted Roger Skunk to smell the way a little skunk should have. It should not carry the deceptive and borrowed smell of roses. Roger Skunk is agreed to go with because he loved his mother more than he loved all the other little animals. She knew what was right. The mother's point was proved right when the wizard restored the original foul smell to Roger's skunk. The other little animals got used to the way he was and did not mind it at all. Of course, it took them some time. Jack did not agree with Joanne's remark that she was a stupid mother. On the other hand, we find her a caring and loving mother. When Roger's skunk was in bed, Mommy Skunk embraced him and said he smelled like her little baby skunk again and she loved him very much. Thus, Jack's version brings out the mother's love, care, and concern for her little baby. Question 2. Describe Jack's art of storytelling. Value point: story of small creature Roger has some or other problem. Goes to wise old owl for advice. Owl send him to wizard. Wizard cast a magic spell. Problem gets solved. Detailed answer. Jack was a good storyteller. He had begun the custom of telling a story to his daughter for the evening naps 2 years ago. Every day he made a slight alteration in the basic story, which usually revolved around a creature named Roger. This creature always fell into some trouble and went to a wise old owl for advice. The owl sent him to a wizard who cast a magic spell to solve the problem. To make his stories interesting, he would give sound effects to his stories. Example: when Roger Skunk had knocked at the door of wizard, Jack rapped on the window sill to create an effect. When Roger Skunk reached the house of wizard, the wizard asked him many questions, and Jack gave it one of his favorite effects. He scrunched up his face and spoke the wizard's words like an old man. In the end, when Joe seemed satisfied at Roger getting the smell of roses, he didn't like it. He made a twist in his story and extended the basic story. He hadn't liked the expression on Joe's face when reflected that she thought the story was all over. So he made a change in the story and narrated it to her. Question 3. How did Jack end the Roger Skunk story? How and why did Joe want to change it? Value points: end the story by saying Mommy Skunk took little skunk to wizard and changed her smell back to its original stinky one. Mother knew what was right for Roger Skunk. According to Joe, it was stupid. Mommy couldn't digest the statement that little skunk's mother hit the wizard on his head and restored his original smell. Mother had no right to deprive skunk of its happiness. Was happy that skunk earned a lot of friends by changing smell. Suggested another ending where mother would hit wizard. Wanted mother to be punished. Detailed answer. According to Jack's ending of the story, Roger's mother hit the wizard with an umbrella. He then acts as she wishes and Roger Skunk starts smelling bad again. Joe wants the ending of the story to be the other way. She wants the wizard to hit on the head of stupid Mommy. She wants the wizard to refuse to make Roger smell bad again. Children look at this world from a different perspective. They look at people and things quite differently the way adults do. Their perspective on life reflects simplicity and innocence. Joe has deep sympathy for Roger's skunk. Roger's bad smell kept all the little animals away from him. The little skunk stood alone and wept. The wizard made Roger smell of roses. He was happy. Other little animals were now attracted toward him. They now played and danced with him. Joe's main anger is against the stupid Mommy of Roger Skunk. It was she who forced the wizard to make Roger Skunk smell bad again. The hero of the story is always a role model for children. The tender-hearted Joe is shocked at the attitude of that stupid Mommy. She wants Roger Mommy to be punished. The wizard must hit her on her head hard with his magic wand. Question 4. How does Jo show her independence thinking in the story? Should wizard hit Mommy? Value points. She suggests the animal whose story her father was to create, Skunk. She keeps interrupting the story with suggestions about animals. Skunk was going to meet owl, wizard, etc. Asking whether magic spells were real. She is in reality phase. Asks her mother whether spiders really ate bugs as suggested by father. Catching her father when he mentioned Roger Fish instead of Roger Skunk. Protesting when the mother in the story gets the smell of roses changed to the foul smell of skunk. Insist wizard hit the mother. Let's see a detailed answer. Jo is just a little girl of 4 years, but she is very sharp, inquisitive, and intelligent. She suggests her father the animal whose story her father is to create. She keeps interrupting the story with suggestions about the animals. The skunk was going to meet such the owl and wizard. She is not a girl who can easily accept things. She keeps asking questions like whether magic spells are real. She shows maturity of young girl. She asks her mother whether spiders really eat bugs as suggested by her father. She is so bright that she catches her father when he mentions Roger Fish instead of Roger Skunk. She is very strong and sensitive and immediately protests if things do not go according to her wish. When Jack ends the story just opposite to her perception, she refuses to accept and express her own views and outlook and insists her father to end the story with wizard hitting the mother. Question number 5. How did Jo want the Roger Skunk story to end and why? Value point. Jo wanted wizard to hit mommy on heads and skunk not to smell bad, wanted stupid mommy to be punished, insisted on changed ending next day. Jo felt mother should not impose her will or action. Her action robbed the son of acceptance of peers. Wanted Roger to be allowed to choose his own life, get rid of stink. Story with the sad ending was unacceptable. She was looking at things from child's perception. Friends were more important than family. Let's see the detailed answer. The world of children is quite different from that of adults. Their world is a dreamy and magical world. It's a world of fantasy and romance. There is no place for ugliness and stink in their world. Roger Skunk is the hero of the story. Jo never wanted her hero to be so ugly and stinky. It offends her fairness and justice. Therefore, Jo disapproves of Jack's ending of the story of Roger Skunk. She wants her father, Jack, to tell the same story in a different way. The wizard must take his magic wand and hit Roger's mommy hard for not understanding Roger's feelings. Little Jo wants that stupid mommy to be punished. Her crime is that she went to the wizard and compelled him to make her son smell bad again. Jo wants him to smell nice so that he can play with other little animals. She doesn't want Roger to feel sad and lonely for no fault of his. Let's see the question number 6. The same situation can be viewed through two different perspectives. How does Should Wizard Hit Mommy establish this point through the views of Jack and Jo? Answer. As a child grows into maturity, his perspective and vision of life change gradually. A child views things at superficial and sensory level, but a grown-up's vision is realistic, reflective, philosophical, and even psychological. Viewed from the study of the story, Should Wizard Hit Mommy, Jo, a child of 4, like most children of her age, prefers to live in dreams and fantasies. She is hostile by nature and would like to wreak vengeance on Skunk's mother and wants the wizard to retaliate. She is annoyed because her father refuses to accept her suggestion. The father has a mature perspective and sees beyond the surface and explores philosophical and moralistic aspect of entire situation. According to her father, the wizard had unwillingly interfered with nature and had thus done a great deal of harm and deserved to be punished. According to him, the punishment meted out to wizard is well merited and retaliation is out of question. Thus, the story makes it clear that perspective of a child and that of adult is totally different. You can see the tips here. Question 7. At the end of storytelling session, why does Jack consider himself caught in an ugly middle position? There will be distribution of marks. Content 2.5 marks, expression 2.5 marks. So let's see the key points. Jack, possessive about the details of his story, does not take kindly to Joe's suggested changes. The wizard hitting mommy, upset with daughter questioning parental authority, felt to be in position similar to that of his wife, engaged with her, yet no sympathy for his wife, could put neither his daughter to sleep nor help his wife paint the fence. So let us see the detailed answer. Jack was caught in an ugly middle position because he was caught between two difficult situations. He was unable to escape the harsh realities of life. Rather, he tried to habituate himself to the prevailing situation. He had to manage his family with two children, his daughter Jo and his son Bobby, and hence Jack was entangled between two worlds. The first world belonged to Roger Fish, Roger Squirrel, Roger Chipmunk, where he is telling the story of wise owl and wizard with the magic wand. The world upstairs consists of his children. Joe had raised a question about whether the wizard should hit the mommy skunk or not. Jack was unable to satisfy her as he was very cautious about the downside world where his wife Claire was painting. The house was not well kept and household items were scattered. They were expecting a baby and he was supposed to go and help her as she was working hard to make both the ends meet. In this way, Jack was caught in an ugly middle position between the romantic world and the real world. So, it's complete. Thank you guys. Subscribe for more videos.